Good morning, everybody. It's another week of NFL football, week 5. I'm going to get this shared out quick, let some people get in, and then we'll start diving into it. Second here. Labs is terrible with sending out notifications to YouTube, so my people know that I am live. Paul, what up, bro? Told you I was about to be live. All right, what up? Perfect timing. You're right. Yeah, sure. All right, so I'm gonna let a couple people filter in here really quick. Are you were? What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Hope all is well with you. We're still waiting on some interesting news. You know, the whole Dalvin Cook thing. Madison was one of my core plays this week, and I think I'm still gonna stick to him. You know, it's kind of interesting right now because this is like the perfect game to give Dalvin Cook rest if he's injured and to try to give him some time to, you know, help recover that. What up, Hicks? How you doing, brother? Guys, shout out to my guy Matt Hicks. Last weekend did not finish the way he wanted it to finish. He still ended up winning quite a bit. He sent me a DM. This is one of my dudes. We go way back from when I was like breaking. He's right before the 3:00 games, and there was only a couple games and so many guys out there. He was in 7th place in the Millie Maker. He was in 7th place in the Millie Maker. He had Hicks in the chat. Tell me again who you had, the running back you had. He had the starting running back for a team in the late game. And the other running back ended up getting like a touchdown and the touches. Oh, I think he had Swift. Oh no, Chris Carson. Yes. So he had Chris Carson and Alex Collins. If you guys remember last week, scored a touchdown, was getting like all the looks, was getting like everything, all the touches. And he was like right there, like at the top, like. So, shout out to Hicks. I know it didn't work out the way it did. Hopefully, maybe this week you can get back up there. I know that's not easy to do, especially in a Millie Maker. Hey guys, let's just talk about something. And I can even I'm going to ask Hicks. I'm going to ask my man Matt this. Yeah, Debo Samuel killed you as well. Yeah. So, I'm going to ask you this. Your construction, right? Like your build on your construction, and I might even still have this. I might even be able to pull it up. Let me see if I still have it, because I think he sent me the lineup. He did send me the lineup. All right, so I'm going to pull it up on the screen real quick. So you guys can just see I wasn't like bullshitting you. All right, so this is him right here. This is him right here. He was in 5th place. He was in 5th place, right? This is like 3:00 games. He had 210.62 points. This is his lineup. So he had Patrick Mahomes, Chris Carson, who we talked about, and this was in the start of the game. It was a little over halfway through the second. He had Patterson, which again I said I wasn't on. I didn't think his journey of scoring multiple touchdowns would continue, and it did. It backfired on me. He had Hill, and again, guys, what do I talk about every week? Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce are all going to always be 10% roughly or less owned. They're great for GPPs. Mahomes, you can play cash just about any week, regardless. But again, when they go off, they break slates. Tyreek Hill, and under 10%, we're looking for that low ownership in these plays. Corey Davis, Terry McLaurin, who went off, who was in a great spot. D. Knox, Kareem Hunt, and the Bills defense. So that's, and look, this was in the Millie. He was in 5th place. So close, man. So close. I mean, this wasn't the finish. He ended up dropping more, but I'm just showing you guys, like, he was there. he had sent me a message, and I was like, oh, man. Like, I was all in. I was about to see if it got close. We probably would have went live, and I probably would have done like a milli sweat with him and had him on with me, and we'd kind of watch the game and be live. If that happens with any of you guys don't stream, even with me, and I'm in a big contest about to take it down, or it's close, I'll probably go live, and we'll do like the sweat together, so anyone who wants to join. But guys, I'm telling you, it can happen for anybody. Anybody can get there. It can happen, man. So what up, B-Pats? How you doing, brother? I got as high as second. Yeah, you got as high as second. Was projected at first place. I mean, guys, it's crazy, right? It would have been sweet. 23rd is still awesome. Yeah, because it's still, but that just shows you how top heavy the payouts are. What's up, balls? How heavy the top heavy the payout is in any big contest like that. Like it's a milli, then it goes from like a milli to like 100,000, and then it drops like fourth place, fifth place is like 15,000, which is still good, but I didn't realize. So the Jets and Falcons playing in a I didn't even realize that game because it wasn't on the slate. That's interesting. All right, guys. So again, I'm going to start out. We're week 5. I do this every Sunday morning around 9 o'clock. I'm a little late today because I was a little late getting out of bed. Slept in a little bit. Had to go get my coffee. So all you guys, this is Caffeine with the team. Cheers. We got our double shot. Caramel ribbon frappuccino. All right. So we got a lot to talk about. The Vikings. Probably the biggest news that can make or break this slate is the Dalvin Cook news, right? And again, I talked about it earlier in the week. I honestly feel like Dalvin Cook probably doesn't play. But there's question marks because, like I was saying, if they really wanted to rest him this week, why wouldn't they just already rule him out, right? And another thing to look at is line change. Typically with running backs, if there is like a running back out, the line typically won't change that much anyway, right? It's like if there's a quarterback, like if you go from like a Patty Mahomes to whoever their backup is, like all of a sudden, then the line change is going to be pretty big. But if it's a running back, typically really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go down my list, kind of how it goes with me in my app here, looking at lines. So right now, Detroit at Minnesota. They got Minnesota at 10 with a 49.5 point total. I honestly, some people are talking Jared Goff, like, and here again, like a Jared Goff play in a GPP would be a play to do because not a lot of people are going to be on him, right? He's going to be very, very, very low owned. But I personally am not going to go there, right? I don't mind Justin Jefferson. I don't mind Adam Thielen. But honestly, obviously, if Cook plays, yeah, but I think I still am leaning towards locking in Madison in a lot of my lineups. I honestly feel like even if he plays, he's not going to have to be I don't feel like he has to be a part of the game. Like, and if he's injured, why push it, right? So maybe he gets in a little bit. Maybe he starts the game, but maybe it's kind of a dual, running back by committee, if you will, and maybe Madison just kind of takes over and they let him take a break. So I like Madison. I really like Minnesota's defense. Minnesota's defense probably will be somewhat chalky this week. But guys, at the end of the day, defense really in DFS, we say it doesn't matter, but I guess it does in some cases. Like we look at Matt's lineup in a Millie Maker. Not a lot of people will pay all the way up for defense. He paid up for defense. He got 23 points out of it. Now, there are defenses that are cheap, like a Vikings defense, who, if they show up correctly at home, should be in the double digits. Should be, right? Now, anything can happen, right? Who was it? Chase Daniels, when he was on the Lions, he threw for, when Stafford was out a couple years ago, he threw for like 3 or 4 touchdowns or some crap. Like, they ended up spanking us. Shouldn't have went that way. But again, it's the Vikings, so anything can happen, right? I suppose everybody probably says that about their team unless they're the Patriots or the Chiefs these days or somebody like that that's constantly winning championships or being right there, right? The Bucks. The next game I'm going to go to is the Saints and the Redskins. New Orleans at Washington, or the football team. My apologies. The Washington football team. That's going to be a 43.5 point total. Saints are favored by 2.5. People are on Kamara. I don't see Kamara. I don't like Kamara against Washington. Again, I think it's a fine GPP play. I personally would not play Kamara in a cash game lineup at all. Right? You got Marquez Callaway or whatever his name is. I mean, he finally found the end zone the other week, but he's still been quiet. There's not really a lot that I like there. Famous Jameis just hasn't been there, right? Is Taysom Hill going to eventually take over in New Orleans? It's a possibility. We don't know. Winston, since week 1, has not shown up. Like, he just has not played well at all. And even in week 1, he threw 5 touchdowns, but he threw for under 200 yards. I guess it really doesn't matter, right? Touchdowns are what matter in DFS. But as far as quarterback play, just, the numbers just kind of seem weird. Now, on the Washington side, Antonio Gibson is going to play. You got Terry McLaurin. You got Heineke, who last week, the people who played Heineke, man, he scored, 27.5 points, 28 points. His favorite target, obviously, is McLaurin. There is obviously another cheap tight end option on Washington, which is because Logan Thomas is out, is Ricky Seals-Jones, right? Ricky Seals-Jones is a cheap option for you to go to if you'd like at tight end. Gibson, McLaurin are really going to be my guys there. Curtis Samuel, I think, is back. So that's if you're looking for somebody cheaper for Washington for some reason, you could possibly look there. I'm not personally going to do it. Defense this week, I feel, is rough. Yeah, I feel you too. Vikings have a bye this week, basically. Yeah. They have a bye against Tom T's Lions. What's up, guys? I'm late. Start over. Sorry, guys. Terry, you didn't miss much, man. I basically talked about the Vikings-Lions game. That was the first game. I'm on my second game now. I said that Cook is the big news for the slate. We're still waiting to see if he plays or not. He's a game-time decision. I would think they don't play him in this game, and Madison takes over, and I love Madison, and I think I still lock in Madison. And I think even if Cook plays, I'm still playing Madison, like I'd said earlier. So yeah, like McLaurin, Heineke, if you want to take a GPP shot at like a Heineke again against the Saints, I don't know, it's pretty tough, but they are at home. And then Ricky Seals-Jones would be another guy I like. Now, this next game I like, and a lot of other people are probably going to like. But, there's been a lot of talk about Joe Burrow. I like Joe Burrow. I'm going to have Joe Burrow in a couple lineups, GPP lineups. I'm going to have him stacked with Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, right? Possibly even taking shots at that tight end that had a couple touchdowns a couple weeks ago, CJ Hujiwada or whatever his name is, right? But I actually like to play the other side of this. I like to stack this game, but I like to play Aaron Rodgers and go way lower owned on an Aaron Rodgers kick with a Devontae Adams. Now, there's a lot of ways you could stack this game, and you could go 2 different ways. So you could go like a Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. You could run it back with, Perrine, the running back. I would go receivers, though, probably Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins is back, right? So you got a lot of options, the tight end. Or you could go like a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, or a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, or a Chase, the tight end, Burrow, and then run it back with either an Aaron Jones, who I think will have a decent game, or Devontae Adams, or even Tanyan, right? Tanyan is another guy that you can always look at tight end for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is a fan of him. He does like his tight ends as well. Obviously, he likes Devontae Adams more, but just kind of looking at game script there, I really do like that game. And I don't mind the quarterbacks on both sides, and I love stacking this game. I have a lot of lineups that are stacked one each way. So with Burrow or with Rodgers, right? I think Rodgers goes lower owned. He's more expensive. Joe Burrow is actually very well priced this week. I feel, I think he's not priced high enough, and I think that's why people are reaching there. Now this next game is just ugly. Let me just keep up with comments. Raiders are good for defense this week. 2 Bears haven't scored more than 21 all year. I took Raiders. Guys, I won't have to squint in about a week or two. I went and had an eye exam yesterday, and I got 2 pairs of glasses. Shout out America's Best. They're not sponsoring this, but shout out to them. I got 2 pairs of glasses. I think they're pretty good. I didn't do any designer. I don't need that, but I think they look cool. I think hopefully they'll give me a good look, and I can see, and I don't have to do this. Spoiler, I have a lineup with Heineke and Scary Terry. Yeah, see, Hicks, our almost millionaire guy here, is taking a shot with a lineup with Heineke and McLaurin. He's going right back to the well. So there you go. Get those Lions. I got the Lions this week. Balls is taking the Lions. He's just trying to jab at your boy Deafness, but it's all right, man. I play DFS. I don't get too in depth and too attached to a team because I'm a weekly DFS player, so for football. So I don't get too attached to a team. The Broncos Steelers. This is an ugly game, man. This is a really ugly game. Now, if you were somebody that wanted to take a shot and probably could find some very low ownership for GPPs and you thought Vegas was wrong on this, you know, this could be a game you could look at. I'm not really looking there. I think the only guy that I really like out of this whole game, I guess there's 2 players that I would point out. One would be Najee Harris, right? 2 would be, I suppose Sutton if I think he's playing, but the other one, main one would be Noah Fant, right? Noah Fant is, I think, always forgotten about when it comes to DFS. Harris would be the guy that you'll see in any of my lineups, if any, and he's not even going to be in a ton of them. I don't really like it, man. It's a 1.5 favorite spread for the Broncos, 39.5 point total. Not really a fan to go there. Not really liking it. Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, Derrick Henry, they call him King Henry, and for good reason, right? He's in another great matchup here. You could also even look, if you want to get different and get cute, you could go Tannehill here. Now, A.J. Brown is back, correct? Julio is questionable or out. So you could do a little stack there. If you went away from Derrick Henry, if you want to go that pass game. But I'm going to stick with Derrick Henry. He'll also be in my cash lineup. On the Jacksonville side, man, really, you could take a stab in a GPP with Trevor Lawrence. James Robinson is in play for more cash than anything else this week against Tennessee. And then you got Marvin Jones and you got Chenault. Now, more people are gonna go towards Chenault, right? Because he got more of the action last week, and a lot of people that are game log watchers that just look at game logs and don't really look at anything else that help make their decisions, they're gonna go towards Chenault. I think Marvin Jones is a better in play this week. I think he gets back to getting more receptions. So if I'm going with one receiver on Jacksonville, it's going to be Marvin Jones over Chenault. But Chenault is a great play. It's just he's going to be more popular. So just take it with a grain of salt. Julio is out, yes. All Atlanta so far. I did take Broncos D. Yeah, Broncos D isn't bad. I mean, that's a great play. Look for Josh Reynolds as a sneaky play. There you go, man. We got Hicks in here as well. Maybe 1 week Hicks would join me and we can do like a... I would love to have... Sometimes, guys, I would love to have people on here either on Sunday morning. We could do like a StreamYard talking this and I can share the screen still up and have us on the side. Or even in a midweek talking plays and kind of getting ready for builds. I'd love to have other people that play or have played a lot that are just know a lot of football, whatever, that want to discuss it. So, and NBA is back. It starts in less than a week. The preseason's already going. I'll be probably doing some NBA stuff too to kind of help you guys and show you guys how to build and whatnot for that. The next game we're going to get to is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Carolina Panthers. 46 point total. 3-point favored Panthers here. Man, you know, Julian Hurts, you know, when you think of Eagles, you think Hurts, you think Miles Sanders. Gainwell, who's the rookie who's been kind of making a splash. He's been finding the end zone. That's one of those names that kind of, you know, that's one of those names that could be in a Millie lineup, to be honest with you. Now, I don't know if it happens this week, but those are the kinds of plays that you're trying to find a couple of in your lineup that's built good with a lot of, bigger names, and then you got a couple sneaky guys in there that go off, right? That's kind of how you do it. That's how you take down anything, honestly. They got to be low owned. Devontae Smith, Goddard, Zach Ertz. I mean, there's a lot of Ertz. There's a lot of guys. I don't know about Carolina. I don't know about playing them in Carolina. Carolina side, you got Sam Darnold, who has looked amazing, guys. I talked about Sam Darnold before the season started. I said he needed to get with a team where he had weapons around him, where he had, a better atmosphere and whatnot. And the kid has played great this year. He's showing his true talents. You got DJ Moore, who just continues to find the end zone not once but twice a week. You could go there. The guy I kind of like more this week, though, that is going to be less owned, is going to be Robbie Anderson. I think this might be a Robbie Anderson week. You guys, typically each year, Robbie Anderson, at least once or twice a year, just goes off. And I think this could be that week that he goes off. So I do like him. Hubbard, you could look at running back. I think that's about the extent of where I go with any of the guys there. Miami Dolphins at Tampa Bay Bucks, 48-point total. Tampa Bay favored by 10.5. Miami, the only guy I really like on Miami personally is going to be Gesicki, the tight end. Mike Gesicki, I think he is a decent play, a decent tight end play to look at. He's not that expensive. On the Tampa Bay side, there's a lot I like here, guys. I don't know that it's a Brady week. I mean, I think they win. I don't think it's that hard. But I think it's more control with a run game. They get ahead and then they just run the ball. I'm a big fan of Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette kind of moved in as a core play for me this week. I'm a big fan of Leonard Fournette this week. He's very, very reasonably priced. I want to say he's 64 on FanDuel. I want to say he's 52 on DraftKings, which at 52 on DraftKings is just way too cheap for the spot that I feel he is in this week. And then a guy that I'm going to talk about, I mean, we got Mike Evans, you got Godwin. I'm going to continue to love Antonio Brown. This is Tom Brady's favorite target. You're going to get sick of me talking about this and saying this, but I got to keep saying it because until things change, I got to make sure that you guys understand that Antonio Brown is gotten the most targets out of any Tampa Bay receiver since Antonio Brown has gotten there last year. So think about that. Tom Brady's been throwing the ball quite a bit. Antonio Brown is his favorite target for Tom Brady. Tom Brady loves Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown, I've said it before, I feel like he is back to the old Antonio Brown. And he is cheap. You're going to continue to see him cheap until he, I guess, has another big game or two and then his price hikes up, right? And gets up there with Evans and Godwin. He's too cheap. I think he's 52 or 5,400 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, we'll look here in a minute when we go through the players. But I like it. Tampa Bay defense could be another defense you could play. It's going to be a high pay up, right? They're not going to be cheap, but you could look at the Tampa Bay defense. The Patriots and Texans, I'm not, it's a 39-point total. Patriots favored by 8. Mac Jones is interesting. I don't know that I really like it in this game because there's I don't feel a big shootout potential. But for the Patriots, Mac Jones, Jacoby Myers, right? Hunter Henry. On the Texans side, the only guy I really would be interested in possibly would be Brandon Cooks. And Cooks would probably be more of a cash play for me than anything else if I was going to play Cooks. So Cleveland Browns at LA Chargers, 47-point total. Chargers by 2.5. Man, the Browns, this would be a spot. The Chargers, I like playing Chargers. I like Mike Williams. I like Eckler. I like, Keenan Allen. I think a lot of people do. I like Justin Herbert. I don't really like anybody in this game. And I think I've kind of made a rule for myself that I am not going to play in DFS. I am not going to play anybody against the Cleveland Browns. And I don't really like anybody in Cleveland against the Chargers this week. So this personally is going to be a stay away game for me. again, I made that rule. I've just been getting burned, right? I got burned last week. Like, Vegas had that game at a 51.5 point total. The Browns and the Vikings, right? They scored 21 points total. Defensive game, which is great. You know, it's different. But they were 30.5 points off. Vegas was. That should have been a shootout. But the defenses both showed up. Kirk Cousins should have went off, guys. Again, I have jinxed my last two thumbnails. I have jinxed my quarterbacks. Daniel Jones a couple weeks ago. Kirk Cousins last week. I mean, should have been a smash spot on both sides of the ball, really, for both teams. Should have put up a ton of points. I think it was a 1.5 point total favored. Just crazy. Crazy. So, again, I continue to see the Browns kind of shut the offenses down of the opposite side. I'm going to stay away. Until I see something different, I don't really want to play anybody against Cleveland. Now, again, this could be a spot. This could be another GPP spot because I think a lot of people are going to get into this similar thinking. But a GPP milli maker mind might be like, hey, Justin Herbert's going to be very low owned. Mike Williams is going to be very low owned. Eckler is going to be low owned. You know, Keenan Allen, Jared Cook, where they may stack this game. This may be a stack spot. Okay, so when we're talking about winning $1 million in a milli maker lineup, if that were to happen, if that type of stack went off, that could easily be a milli maker lineup. You'd have to have the rest of the pieces together, right? There's still other spots you got to fill in. But that's the kind of mentality you have to have when you're building a milli maker lineup. It has to be super low owned. It has to be a spot where people just aren't going to, right? Like Keenan Allen will be a cash play, but Mike Williams, Eckler, Herbert, they're going to be so low owned this week. That's a spot where you could go and look. I was a week early on fields. My deck, they showed up last. I like. You like San Diego defense? Me. Oh, Steve for me. There you go. Yep, Arizona, the Cardinals. That's a good defense too. That's a sneaky defense because a lot of people are on Trey Lance, and we'll get to that game. So the next game is going to be the Bears, the Balls Bears, and the Raiders. Jimmy Guns' Raiders and Bob Ellis' Raiders. This is an interesting game. Some people really like the Raiders defense here. Raiders at home, Las Vegas. I do like Damian Williams here for the Bears against the Raiders. I don't really like Fields this week against Las Vegas, in Las Vegas. Balls, he might be on Darnell Money Mooney, possibly. The Raiders, this is an interesting place for Raiders. This could be another possible milli type build or stack even, right? A Derek Carr with like a Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, or Hunter Renfrow, and then with a Darren Waller. That's another lineup. Nobody's going to be playing Derek Carr this week. Derek Carr is going to be super low owned. Very low owned. He's had a great year so far. Now, does he continue it? I don't know. I mean, is a real Derek Carr going to show up soon? Or are we seeing the real Derek Carr now? Hard to say. But, man, like, I don't know. Derek, this could be an interesting play. I will have like one lineup with Derek Carr, but again, I do like Damian Williams on the other side of the ball. Damian Williams has looked tremendous for Chicago. He has looked absolutely great. When he gets the opportunities and he gets the touches, he has looked like, in my opinion, the better running back than David Montgomery. So, another thing to think about if you're looking at like trying to take something down or milli lineup, you know, again, it could burn you. It could definitely burn you. That's the shots you got to take, though. You know, I brought this up before we get to the next game. We're getting towards the end of the games, and we'll go through some players. We'll build a lineup and whatnot. But I've talked about this before with building lineups in GPPs. Typically, if you're building it right, you're either going to be on the high end, like towards the top, or you're going to be way towards the bottom. If you're barely just cashing, it's great to just cash or get your money back, but that's what you want to do in cash games. In GPPs, you either want to have the needle towards the top, per se, where you finish, or the needle is going to be towards the bottom because you're taking a stance, you're taking a shot. You have those very low-owned guys. The reason why there's such that thing, because your stack is probably very low-owned. So if your stack goes off and and there are some of the higher scoring players in that stack for that team because they find the end zone together, quarterback, receiver, whatever, it's going to move it towards the top, right? Because hardly anybody's on them, and if they're the top scoring players and the rest of your lineup's decent. If it's not, it's going to be towards the bottom. Like sometimes people like laugh, well, this dude only scored 45 points or 65 points. Well, that means that unless he really did not know what he was doing, he built a GPP lineup taking a high risk to take down a tournament. He took a shot, right? So just keep that in mind. Like if you lose bad or you're way under on it, but your lineup made sense, there was correlation, things made sense. The guys were low owned, but they could have smashed. It could have been a possibility for them to smash. You probably built the lineup right. It just wasn't your week. So keep that in mind. Don't give up because of things like, if you see things like that happening. Because eventually, at one point, if you have that GPP mentality like Hicks last week, so close to a milli. So close. Was in second place at one point in the milli on FanDuel. I mean, just think about that. That's life-changing. Life-changing. $5 entry. Life-changing. We're talking life-changing money here. Could you imagine like this weekend if you won a milli? I mean, just take a second and think about it. And anybody can do it. Anybody. You just have to build. You have to get it right. You only have to get it right once. One time out of your playing. You win a milli or you ship a big tournament. You're set if you play it smart and you play your money right. You got funds to play with for the rest of your life as well, and continue to try to win some money and play some cash games as well, and just continue to cushion that bankroll. That's huge, man. Huge. I'd faint, Paul says. Devontae Parker out. So again, I like Mike Gesicki. I'm a fan of Waddle. You could look at in Miami with him out. The next game, this is the cover boy, if you will. The next two games are really, really good games. So we got a 40.5 point total. Cardinals by 5.5. So I am playing some Trey Lance. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But I am playing probably more Kyler Murray. Again, we're going to see Kyler Murray probably very low owned. Everybody's going to play Trey Lance. We got Arizona favored by 5.5. Kyler just continues to look incredible. Could possibly, if he continues this stance or this play ability, probably be an MVP, right? Could possibly win an MVP this year. We call him the video game quarterback. Always escaping the pocket, escaping the sack, making big plays down the field. Horizontal quarterback, loves to go deep, throw the deep ball. Has receivers that can do it. Has speed. Rondell Moore, Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, right? And now you got Max Williams. I don't know if Max Williams is playing today, but I had kind of mentioned him last week. He found the end zone last week. Max Williams did. He's a former U of M. He's a former Gopher. All kid, very big kid. So I like Kyler, and I actually, you know what? I like stacking Kyler with DeAndre Hopkins this week. Nobody's talking about Hopkins. Hopkins was kind of quiet. Again, those game log watchers are just going to look at the game logs, and they're going to say who had the most receptions or who had the biggest games. What does a game log look like? And that's how they're going to make their decisions on their plays. That's not the right way to play DFS. But if you want to continue doing it that way, you do it that way. If that's working for you, great. It's going to come and bite you in the butt at one point, though. because there's a lot of things change, a lot of things factor why a player goes off 1 week. Some of it's fluky, a lot of it's matchup, players out, etc., whatnot. Maybe defensive players out, corners out that were on a receiver, maybe defensive linemen that typically are there that were out that week against a running back. There's a lot of different reasons, a lot of factors in that you got to look at. So I really like Kyler. I really like DeAndre Hopkins. I really like running it back with like a Debo or a Brandon Ayuk. George Kittle is out, right? George Kittle is out this week. So for Trey Lance on the who is the backup tight end for San Francisco? Can somebody let me know? I'm not even sure. Who is the tight end backup for San Fran? Because that might be a spot to look at. I'm sure some people are already going to go there because that news has already been released. But, you could look at the tight end in San Fran possibly too. And again, Trey Lance, if I'm stacking, probably Trey Lance and Debo, right? And then I'll run it back on the other side and I'll probably pay up at DeAndre Hopkins. Because again, people don't want to pay up. When they're building a stack, they're doing that and they buy one high receiver. They typically don't want to do it on the other side of the ball. And I think that's wrong. D. Welly. Yeah. Targets, yeah, you could look at that. And I mean, you would want to look at targets. You even want to look back more than just this season if they've been in the league, if they're not a rookie, right? You want to kind of see if there's trends. Like, you can use those for that, but the better thing to do would be to look at like an NFL reference site or something, or StatMuse or one of those guys. Shout out StatMuse, a good website you can use to kind of look at career, whatever. You can go against career against a certain team, and again, all that stuff fluctuates because defense changes, right? Players on the team change. It's kind of like DVP. Like DVP in sports, doesn't really mean a lot, right? Like even in basketball and stuff, because but there's always picks, there's always things so defenders are always constantly changing on who they're really on. They're not really glued to that person 100% of the time. So it's kind of in my opinion, kind of a bogus stat, if I were to say. So again, I'm going to really target this game. The other game you could target, which is this is another great game. The Giants and the Cowboys. I do have some Daniel Jones. I do have some Dak Prescott. I think I have one or two lineups of each quarterback. On the Giants side, Dallas is favored by 7. It's a 52.5 point total. Daniel Jones, I'm probably looking to somebody like Tony, and I like Evan Ingram. The rookie Tony, Canary Tony or whatever his name is. And then, or if I'm not going to play Daniel Jones, I'm probably going to play Mr. Superman Barkley. I think he's finally 100% healthy, it looks like. This is going to be a game he's done very well against Dallas in the past and during his career. He's had great games against Dallas. This is a team that he typically goes off on. So keep that in the back of your head. Barkley against Dallas, usually big games. And then on the flip side of that, you go to Dallas, you go Dak. Love Dak this week. You can love Dak just about every week, but Dak, I'm probably looking to CeeDee Lamb, right? Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz at tight end. So you could do like a Dak, Lamb, and a Schultz, and then you can run it back with either Barkley or Tony or one of the other. John Ross, another one. He came back in the league here. You saw he got a big bomb touchdown. Was that last week, right? It was like 70 yards or 80 yards or something. So keep that in mind, guys. John Ross. It's still too early to use targets as baseline usually. Yeah, that's why I would go back career or within the last year and a half. If that's correct call with Hopkins. Got him this week too. Hicks. I think we're on to something here. Murray and Hopkins, or the other side of the ball with Hopkins in. I like it. I like that we're kind of cluing in on the same plays here. So let's go through and let's kind of look at salaries on FanDuel. All right. Let's kind of go through. I already kind of touched on the plays, right? So again, this is why Kyler is going to be low owned. This is why Patrick Mahomes was on this main slate. He's always low owned as well because he's always going to be at the top for salary, right? People don't want to pay all the way up. They want to save that money. I mean, look at this. Okay, so here's an example. You got Kyler Murray at $8,500, right? The other side of that ball, to do a game stack, Trey Lance, his first NFL start, is $6,900. So you're saving quite a bit of money, right? So Kyler Murray probably be my number one quarterback play this week if I'm playing quarterbacks. Tom Brady, again, I'm not a fan of. Dak, probably number 2 or 3 or 4, just because of popularity. I think he's going to be a higher owned quarterback. So to get cuter in GPPs, I'm going to try to find a lower owned quarterback like Kyler. Hurts, I don't like this week. Rodgers, again, I'm a fan of. I think he'll be low owned at 8,000 in a high scoring game. Again, people are going to go to Joe Burrow, which is down here at $7,000. They're going to save themselves $1,000 if they go to Burrow in that high scoring game with 1.5 point spread. So, you know, Derek Carr, you got Carr down here. We liked Tannehill. Heineke is interesting. Again, that was a Hicks call. Heineke and McLaurin, right? Against New Orleans. Daniel Jones, I talked about at 7,400. Cousins is a very cash game play for me. I wouldn't play him in GPPs personally. I'd play him in cash lineups, cash games. I think this is a run. I think this is a big run game. I mean, they'll throw the ball, but I think it's going to be a Madison game personally. But Darnold, Herbert again. If you want to take that shot on very, very super low ownership with a stack against the Browns, which I don't like, right? So should we do Heineke or Kyler Murray? What should we do in this build? Should we take Heineke or Kyler Murray? Mac Jones. Fields is down here at 6,400. I just don't like it against the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. I'm a fan of Justin Fields, too. I tell balls that all the time. All right, so we're going to automatically, if we're taking Murray, we got to stack with him. I'm not a believer. Kyler Murray as a quarterback, he's kind of like Lamar Jackson, where you could because he gets a lot of rushing upside and rushing touchdowns. But again, I just don't see people going here this week. And you're not going to see DeAndre Hopkins at 7,500 for too long. I think he goes off this week. I think he's back up to 8,000, 8,200 or whatever, up there with Devontae Adams, right? So again, game script theory, we want to play somebody on the other side of this ball. So San Francisco running backs, I don't like San Fran. We got burned last week. Not a fan. So let's find our receivers. And guys, I'm sure you guys know this, but if you're on FanDuel, if you want to find just the players for a certain team, position, or all, whatever, you can simply just go here and just click on the deal, and then it'll bring everybody up, right? So we got Debo, 77. We got Ayuk at 53. Sanu. Where is that tight end? Let's just see if he's gotten any love when he's been out there. So he got a receiving touchdown. That was last weekend. Last weekend he actually got a receiving touchdown when Kittle went out. That's kind of an interesting with a rookie quarterback. Quarterbacks tend to kind of like their tight ends. Hicks, what are your thoughts on Dewey at $4,400? Do we run him back with Debo, or do we run it back with this tight end? What do you guys think? What do we think here? Do we like a Debo or Ayuk, or do we like to do it with this tight end? Anyone? Bueller? Debo, he says. All right, so we'll go Debo. All right, perfect. All right. So let's go back now. Let's get our running backs. And let's go back to all teams. All right. So I think Derrick Henry, smash spot, obviously. Kamara's going to be, I think, low owned. I don't like him against Washington. Aaron Jones is very interesting. A lot of people are going to be on Devontae Adams on that Green Bay side for good reason. Aaron Jones is an interesting character this week, I think. We got Barkley, Eckler, Chubb, Harris, Jacobs is back. One guy, Alexander Madison, like I said, I think in a smash spot against Detroit. Yeah, he does like him, yeah. James Conner continues to find the end zone, but we're not going to stack a running back with our quarterback. That's not... So here, Damian Williams for Chicago. He should get the looks here. What do you guys think? James Robinson? Like James Robinson? Just James Robinson, I think, is not a bad play, but I think he's more of a cash play this week, not a GPP play. Could be wrong, but I love Fournette. Fournette, I love this week. We got to put Fournette in there. We got to give some Fournette love. Hicks, you guys, what do you think? James Robinson, not fantasy in my opinion. Like, oh, okay, a tight end. I got you. What do you guys think? Hicks? So some people are saying James Robinson. Maybe we could pay up for Derrick Henry, but we're going to be killing our salary per player. Have to. Yeah, exactly. So why don't we do Madison here? Why don't we do this in the flex? Why don't we go cheap on the flex for running back? And I think a good spot. Damian Williams there. So, again, I think Madison is... Even if Cook plays, I don't really care. Like, I don't think he's going to stay in the game long. There's no reason for him. No reason for him to. All right, let's pick our defense. So we got 58, 6, 7. We still got tight end to fill in. We can go cheap at tight end. There are some good tight ends this weekend. Again, we talked about it. Mike Gesicki. Actually, let's just look at tight end. So we got Waller up top, which is going to be 7,400, which is going to be very expensive. Great spot. We got Schultz in a good game script. Goddard. Here's Gesicki at 56. That's not going to really help us a lot. We got Hunter Henry, Tanyan, Evan Ingram. I like Ingram. What do you guys think? Ricky Seals-Jones. Ricky Seals-Jones. Tight end for the Saints. Con Johnson. All right. We'll go with Hicks' call here. All right. Let's get our defense plugged in and let's see what we have left for receiver for our final spot. So are we going to pay up at defense or are we going to go down on defense? We got Patriots, Bucks, Arizona, Saints, Raiders, Broncos. You like Denver, right? Somebody like Denver? Away, though? You like Denver at Pittsburgh? Hicks? Vikings, Washington is in a good spot. But we don't want to... Well, we could still do that against that, I guess. AZ or Chargers? Arizona or Chargers? Where are the Chargers at? Right here? In LA? I don't mind that. What do you think, Hicks? Should we just do Chargers? Or should we do Vikes? Washington? Alright. Or we can pay up, but if we pay up, let's see. If we pay up to Arizona, that's gonna leave us 79. Which I don't mind, but we're kind of going in a game stack. even though they should create turnovers and interceptions, possibly a pick six, which is quite possible. Let's see what the Chargers leave us. 89. So we'd still have salary left. So we could do like a Devontae Adams. It's actually looking pretty damn good right here. And we got our running back in the flex. That's late game, right? 405. That's important in case we need to switch if for some reason this lineup goes off. Now, we could leave it on, the salary on there. Let's see what defense. We don't have to use up all our salary. But here's Denver's defense. Hicks, you said you like Denver's defense? Bears, Balls is saying, I don't know, man, against Las Vegas? In Las Vegas? I typically like defense at home, but typically I'm a fan of defense at home. I mean, we could do Chargers and just leave it. And that's going to make us unique because people are afraid to leave salary on the table, and sometimes you have to do that. So people want to try to spend up. So here's what ends up happening. Okay, so let's just, right now we're going to sit with this. We're going to say it took Denver and Dallas. Okay, so Denver, whoops, that's Cleveland. Sorry, I don't have my eyes on. Remember, my glasses will be here hopefully in a week or so. I mean, they are going up against one of the shittiest offenses this year so far. Let's see it. I'm not looking at the game logs. I'm looking at they're going up against a tough offense, but they are at home. All right, guys. So what is it? Is it going to be the Chargers or is it going to be Denver Broncos defense? Now, we could even do the Vikes. They're at home against the Lions, but who knows? They could get crushed. They could get killed. Matt paired up with Madison. Defense and running back is a good pair a lot of times too. Tampa we can't afford. Chicago they're in Las Vegas, so I don't like doing that. But here's what a lot of people do. Okay, so let's just do Chargers, right? And then here's what a lot of guys would do then. So they would look and see where they could change their. Oh, I got $700. If you like the lineup and there's salary left over, that is absolutely fine. People do win tournaments leaving salary on the table. In fact, in the NBA, like in preseason, especially NBA, in regular season, sometimes with news and with values that come out late in the day, leaving 500 or 1,000 salary is smart because everybody wants to spend up. And that's not always the right play. So, yeah, because then someone would go, okay, well, I could change Hopkins, or I could change Debo, or I could pay up at tight end. So, guys, we're going to run with this. All right, let's build a DraftKings lineup. I haven't shown you guys a lot on DraftKings for whatever reason. So, let's build a DraftKings lineup together. And then we can get you guys out of here. We've been on for about an hour. This will give you guys some good looks. If I can find like a 4 or 3. Okay, let's do a 30K $5. 30K $5. All right. So here we are. We'll start at quarterback again. Are we just going to stay with our same theme and are we going to go Kyler here? Exactly, Hicks. Exactly. Love having Hicks in the chat. Love having all you guys in the chat. But it's just cool, man, to see somebody almost got close. All right. So let's stick with Kyler. Let's stick with, now salaries changed and fluctuate, and this is full PPR, right? Not half PPR like FanDuel. So some of the looks are a little bit different because on FanDuel, it's kind of more running back heavy, like in flex and stuff for sure, because you only get a half point per reception. You don't get a full. All right, so receiver, we're gonna top 76 takes. We're gonna at least get our main game. Okay. Running back. Let's see how much was Chargers? 700. Okay. I'm gonna see what Johnson at tight end is. 100. That's cheap, man. That's cheap. So Flex. I'm gonna put Williams in Flex. I know Devontae. Automatic. Gotta wait to fill. All right. Let's do Fournette over here. $5,200. Madison is $5,500, and Madison catches balls. He's a 3-down back if Cook's out, pretty much. So Flex to Williams. Volume. So that leaves us with 5,200. So this is where it's a little different because we can't fit Devontae Adams in like we could on FanDuel. FanDuel is a little bit softer in pricing. They make it a little more difficult over at DraftKings. So we got Antonio Brown, AJ Green. We got T. Higgins being a good spot coming back. Robbie Anderson. I like Robbie this week. I talked about that. Hunter Renfrow. Waddle. Mooney. Callaway. Not playing 2 Bears. Only play 1. We got Ayuk. How about Robbie Anderson? Robbie Anderson or Higgins? Robbie Anderson or Higgins? Yes, bonuses as well. That is correct. So Hicks makes a good point. So like per $100 or $100 per 100 yards like rushing, you get a bonus. Per 300 yards passing for quarterback, you get a bonus points. Per 100-yard receiving, you get a bonus points. Where you don't get in FanDuel, right? What do you guys think? Should we do what do we like here? We like Green. Well, we could do a 2 Arizona stack with AJ Green, or we could do Robbie Anderson, Higgins. What do you guys like? Higgins or Anderson? I think Robbie Anderson's in a smash spot this week. I don't know why. I'm feeling. I got a feeling. Ooh, that today's gonna be the day we win money. Anderson. Ooh, Renfro is a good one, too. I talk about Renfro. Despite being on the road, the Bears fan. I think Williams has a great game. I don't know. I don't know about. So, Anderson, Renfro. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it up to the rest of the chat. Are we going to put Robbie Anderson or Renfro, Hunter Renfro in? Renfro has been finding the end zone every single week, it seems like. And he is a target, that slot guy that he makes things happen. He's sneaky, finds a way to get open when there's nothing there for Carr. Carr checks back down to him if he has to. So I need the rest of the chat. Balls. I need balls. I need anyone else. If anyone else is here, I got 7 people here, so I should have like 4 or 5 other answers. Do we do Robbie Anderson or Hunter Renfro? Put Renfro or Anderson or Renfro in the chat, please. Let's make our final decision. And there will be an auction on Tuesday as well. Terry, I'll try to do a recap tomorrow night. Try to do one tomorrow night. All right, so Paul is Renfro. Gotta do. Biased. Are you, dude? I'm giving you a wrench too. You're always here. So Hicks and Naru, you guys get spin around for a while. Appreciate you guys. So if you guys chat again, you guys are now blue. I appreciate you guys. Again, anybody ever wants to join me on either Sunday morning or during the week sometime, I would love to do like a weekly show. Midweek or something. Like Wednesdays are always like seem like a dead day. Like the ITG I think goes live like at 7:30, but we could do like a 6 to 7. We could do like an hour show, kind of a preview show. I would love to have somebody join me, and it could rotate, but I would want to be able to do it consistently every single week. Yeah, early build show and just talking the game. So like on a Monday, where we could do like recap and a preview because there's nobody really live, or a Wednesday. But I'd love to have guests on. I'd love to have somebody with me to kind of bounce off like what I'm saying besides just the chat helping me. You know, I love the chat to do that, but helps having another person on to kind of bounce off the ideas. So we're really split, guys. So I need somebody to break this split. I got 2 Anderson. I got 2 Renfro. You guys are making it difficult on me. About to flip a coin. Because that's about how I feel. They're both in great spots. Or anyone else in chat that can... We're looking to fill our final spot on this DraftKings build that we did together. We got Kyler Murray, Fournette, Madison, because I'm pretty sure Cook ain't playing. If he does, he doesn't play much. Hopkins, Samuel, Jay Johnson for New Orleans, D. Williams, Chicago, Chargers. We have one more spot. I'm just going to flip a coin then if nobody else. All right. Heads? I don't know how I'm going to do this to show you guys. That's not going to work. You're not going to be able to see it. Dang it. We got to do a wheel quick. All right, here it is. Whatever it lands on, we go with Renfro. And you know what? Balls hates that because it's against the Bears. But I love Anderson this week, but in this build, that actually makes more sense anyway because we have Chicago, right? We have a Chicago running back. We want to have that mini stack correlation when I talk about correlations. So the wheel kind of picks the correct one, and then that leaves us 300 on the table. We are golden. Let me see. Now, the Cardinals' defense is 2,900. We could take Arizona's defense here instead of Chargers. What's up, Joe? Do we want to switch on this build? Do we want to switch to Arizona's defense, or do we want to keep it Chargers? That'll still leave us $100 on the table. Do we do Arizona or the Chargers for this lineup? Again, it's okay that we have a 49er on the team because we're looking for sacks, interceptions, pick sixes, right? Yeah, I think Nar said... So I think we're going to do that because he was the original one that had Chargers on the other FanDuel one. I like that. What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother, man? Good to see you. So here we are, man. Kyler Murray. So the DraftKings lineup we built together as a little community here this morning. Kyler Murray, Fournette, Madison, Hopkins, Samuel, Renfro, Johnson, Williams, Cardinals. We got our correlations. We got mini correlations here. Kyler is going to be very low owned. Everybody's going to be on Trey Lance this week. They're not going to want to pay up for Kyler Murray. He's going to be just like a Patty Mahomes. Kyler Murray is in that same boat as Patrick Mahomes this year for DFS. He's going to be at the top unless he starts playing like crap every week for salary. And not too many people are going to want to pay up or play him. So he's going to get in these smash spots. They're going to go on the other side of the ball. So, boom, guys. There it is. There's that build. I want to show you guys before I get off of here and let you guys go and get ready to enjoy it. And this was our FanDuel lineup we built together. So, again, guys, check that out. See how it does this week. Guys, again, if anybody is interested, even somebody new that maybe is watching this later or watching this that hasn't really chimed in, that plays a lot of DFS, I would love to get somebody on with me like a Monday or Wednesday, and we do it weekly. And you don't have to do it every week. We can get somebody else to fill in. But if I can get somebody that can be on consistently with me and stream it on the channel, it'd be awesome to talk like, yeah, early build, first look, what have you. I think it would be awesome. So, all right. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm not playing a lot of cash this week. Cash lineups. Playing $45 this week. I typically play like 80, 90. I have not been having good luck with the cash. Getting burned, losing by like half a point. But here's what my cash lineup looks like. Trey Lance is perfect for cash because he's cheap and he's the quarterback, right? Starting quarterback. So for cash games, Lance, Fournette, Williams, Brown, Antonio Brown, and I don't care about having two guys on the same team in cash because we're not looking for ceiling games. We're looking for good high floor games. So that's where you can have a running back and receiver where they typically don't correlate for GPPs. CD Lamb, Devontae Adams, Waller, Barkley, and Vikes defense. That's my cash lineup. I'm only playing $14. I'm playing a couple double or a couple double ups, big double up tournaments, and a couple head to heads. That's it. Head to heads are always fun to play. So that's what my cash lineup on FanDuel looks like. That's for cash. So that's playing like double ups, head to heads, 50-50s, right? That's not a GPP lineup. That's a cash lineup, cash play. Been better. I got you, man. Well, hey, you're alive. It's Sunday morning. If you're a football fan, you got football to watch all day. Man, we got great games. We got a great Sunday night game too, man. Just awesome Sunday night game. Buffalo and the Chiefs, guys. Who do you guys got? You guys got in KC. Is Buffalo going to beat Kansas City in Kansas City tonight? I'm going to take Buffalo tonight. I'm taking the Bills tonight. Who do you guys have? Before we wrap this up, who do you guys have tonight? Buffalo or Kansas City? Buffalo or Kansas City? Colts and Ravens tomorrow night. That's interesting. Okay, Nara's got KC. It's a 2.5 point spread. 56. It's gonna be a lot of scoring. I'm gonna have Josh Allen ball out this game. Anybody else before I wrap this up? Anyone else before I wrap this up? Again, guys, anybody interested in coming on with me Monday or Wednesday to talk early builds, talk about the matchups? Let me know. I'd love to start doing that on this channel as well, as we're doing a lot of DFS talk here now. So, Bills on the over. Guys, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I wish each and every one of you success and great luck today. Hopefully we win. Hicks, appreciate you being in the chat with us as well as everybody else. Balls, Dara, you, Joe Mans. We got, who else was in? Terry P, Tom T. Gonna miss somebody probably. Oh, Paul's in here. B Pats, Big Pimpin' was in here. So appreciate all you guys as always. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Enjoy the football. I'm gonna go take a walk with Zoe quick and finalize some things. But I wish you all the best, and know that I love y'all. I will have an auction on Tuesday. May have a first look Monday or Wednesday. I'll talk about it Tuesday if I'm not live Monday. May have a walk vlog Monday. We'll see. I'm trying to be more active for you guys again. So just in general. So all right. Appreciate y'all. If you guys haven't already, like this video, share it out if you'd like. And also, please, if you're not, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Good luck.